as we take a look. The Western Conference is set, Craig. What's jumping out at you here?
Well, I memean, Avalanche Stars. I mean, one real serious contender is going to be knocked out after the first round. But why don't we go right to the Blues versus the Jets?
Yeah, the Shen brothers battle.
And Luke has 2 Stanley Cups. Braden has 1. You think about the Winnipeg Jets here. Okay, so in 2018, they lost to the Vegas Golden Knights. The Knights went to the Stanley Cup final. In 2019, they lost to the St. Louis Blues. The Blues won the Stanley Cup. In 2021, they lost to the Montreal Canadiens. They went to the Stanley Cup final. In 2023, they lost to the Vegas Golden Knights, and the Knights won the Cup that year. So to me, this is about the Jets, the best team in the National Hockey League during the regular season. I think they have a top-notch team, and I think this is their time.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, St. Louis has been an excellent team. We know that. But I think that everything you need to go deep in the playoffs and to ultimately compete for the Stanley Cup, I believe that the Winnipeg Jets have it. As well, and you've heard this term before, some scar tissue.
Yeah,
I just mentioned some of that. And, you know, you go through there. Now, I want you to ask me, who do you think will be the X factor for the Jets?
Craig, who will be the X factor for the Winnipeg Jets in this first round?
I am so glad you asked me that question. So we know about Hellebuck, we know about Morrissey, we know about Scheifele, we know about Connor, Lowry, everything that goes with it. I think it's Mark Scheifele's time.
Yeah.
I watched Mike Modano do it with our team in Dallas, where he realized, wait a sec, I can go even to a higher level.
Yeah.
Mark Scheifele in that up to the Four Nations was outstanding. He's still been a good player. But I think that this is Mark Scheifele's time to shine. Number 55 for the Winnipeg Jets. He's big, he's strong, he's skilled, and that's the guy I'm looking to. I think Hellebuck and everybody else will be good. X factor, Mark Scheifele.
Let's go back and talk about the Calgary Flames for a second,
Okay.
though. I mean, I think you have to consider this a very successful season, even though they didn't make the postseason. Would you concur?
For 2 reasons. Number one, you go to the third last day of the regular season competing for a playoff spot. You think about what the expectations were at the beginning of this season. They weren't high. You know, where the Flames headed and everything that went with it. They were a hard out through the whole season. And you think about what they were able to do with some of their younger players, namely the goaltender Dustin Wolf. Nazem Kadri was phenomenal. Huberdeau had a rebound season. You got Coleman, you got Anderson, you got Weegar. Just a really good older group that really, I think, mentored the younger players. Yep. Matt Coronado with 24 goals, and they got a really good prospect pool. So that's the first thing on the ice and in the points. But I also think when Craig Conroy set out with a plan, you know, it's one thing to have a plan, but now you got to execute it. And there's got to be some positives as you're executing the plan. I think all the positives are there.
Yeah.
You need older players to guide your younger players. You need to be patient with your younger players. They're going to come along. So I think on 2 fronts, the Calgary Flames season has been sensational. They win on Thursday. They missed the playoffs with 96 points. Like, that's almost unheard of. It's unbelievable.
Nobody saw this coming.
No.
Nobody saw this coming. I didn't get to mention Marc-Andre Fleury came into that game for the Minnesota Wild, got the win for the Minnesota Wild, and here's Marc-Andre Fleury after what might be his last home game for the Minnesota Wild.
For you to come in off the bench cold and get thrown into that situation and to have that much fun in front of these 19,000 fans, how special was this for you?
Oh, a little crazy, you know, the jump of emotion, you know, being down 1 goal, you know, all the way to the end, and Aki getting a big goal for us there, right, and having to jump in. You know, I just tried to enjoy it as much as I could, dive around a little bit, you know, and everything worked out pretty good.
Gonna miss that smile, I think.
I think we're going to see that smile in other places, Jay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, there's no
Absolutely.
question about it. But, and I've been lucky to be around some wonderful people, players in my career, Modano, Jerome McGinley, to just name a couple, and so many others. But Marc-Andre Fleury, he's a better person than he is as a Hall of Fame goaltender. He's just phenomenal. And the joy that he brings every day, every single day to the arena and to his teammates and to his fans, it's something that I hope that young players take a really good look at and understand how much fun you can have playing the game, because I don't think Marc-Andre Fleury ever lost the joy and the fun of the game.
And I love all the Ducks players lining up to shake his hand. It's something we've seen throughout the end of his career here. Everyone wants to talk to him.